What's up, guys? It's your boy Dark Sage, back with another video, and today we're gonna be doing What If Naruto Was Neglected, part 2. But before we get into the video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, because it'll help a young dude out, but we won't talk about that. So, last time we left off, Naruto was leaving the school, because the academy school day was over. And so we're gonna cut to Mima. Mima goes home and he tells Kushina about what Sia says to him. And this makes Kushina angry. And so Kushina hires a couple of ANBU to go put Sia in her place. And so the ANBU find Sia. And because Sia doesn't have her full power because she's only been in this body for a couple of days, they beat the hell out of her. And poor Sia, is her head's bloody, her eyes are bleeding, and she's bruised, beaten, and battered. And so she limps herself to Naruto's house. And Naruto basically says, Sia, what happened? And Sia said, Naruto, some ANBU did this to me. And Naruto says, wait, what? ANBU? And this makes Naruto extremely mad. So he gets Sia and lays her on the couch. And he starts healing her. He starts applying healing ninjutsu. Because Naruto has read a bunch of books on how to heal people. And so Sia's basically healed, but she needs a lot of rest. And when Sia goes to sleep, Naruto gets up and he says, damn it. They're trying to get back at her? For what? She didn't even do anything. And so Naruto walks to the Hokage's office and kicks in the door. And the whole council's there, including Kushina, Tsunade, and Jiraiya. And Naruto walks in and he says, Minato, what the hell did you do? And Minato looks at Naruto with a curious face. And this is when Kushina smirks. And Naruto says, Sia, she was beaten by ANBU. How could you let this happen? Why did you order them to do this? And Minato says, hold on, calm down, Naruto. I didn't order them to do anything. And so Naruto thinks to himself. He thinks about the only people who have control of the ANBU. And those people are the Hokage, Danzo, Kushina, or Jiraiya, or Tsunade. And so Naruto starts laughing to himself. And he says, well, it was either you, Danzo, Kushina, Tsunade, or Jiraiya. And Minato looks at all of them. And Kushina said, why does it matter if she was beaten? She shouldn't be hanging out with a demon like you. And this makes the council laugh. And they're kind of cruel in this. And everybody's laughing except for Minato. Minato says, silence. Kushina, why would you have them do that? And because Kushina has brainwashed Minato with all of the bullshit she's feeding him, she says, Minato, he broke Minma's hand. Well, she broke Minma's hand. And Naruto said, she didn't know such thing. I did. And if the bastard ever tries to hit her again, I'll kill him. And a bunch of ANBU appear from the shadows and basically say, would you like to say that again, kid? Because we will kill you. And Naruto says, I'll kill Mima. And they all impale Naruto with their swords. And Naruto laughs and he says, this is the way they thought they would take me out. And he says, well then die. And he takes out a scythe. Well, y'all will see it later. He takes out a scythe and he cuts all of their heads off immediately. And everybody's surprised. But then Naruto releases the genjutsu. And he looks at all of them and he says, wow, you're all that stupid. Including you, Minato. So, these ANBU are in a paralysis state. And they will die soon. And if I don't get to fight Kushina right now, right here, I'm going to kill them. Because Kushina needs to pay for what she's done. And everybody laughs and says, Kushina, teach your kid a lesson. And Kushina basically walks up to Naruto. And Naruto starts laughing. And this is when Naruto says, demonic sage mode. And he transforms into a beast, basically. This is what Naruto looks like. Naruto looks like this. And he says, well, Kushina, are you ready? And Kushina uses her chakra chains to wrap around Naruto and suck the chakra out of him. And all the counselors say, well, the council members say, well, it's over, Minato. He's done for. He will possibly die. And Naruto laughs. And while he's wrapped up in the chakra chains, he walks over to Kushina and puts a hand on her head and says, bow to me. And he pushes her head all the way down until she's on her knees. And Kushina's trembling because she feels a demonic aura off of Naruto. And they all look at Kushina and they're like, what's wrong, Kushina? And this makes Naruto laugh. And he says, and these chains, they're immensely weak. And he chops them off, surprising everybody, including Minato. And he says, well, Kushina, what are you going to do now? Because if you don't fight back, I'm going to kill you. And Kushina says, ANBU. And so all of the ANBU come in the room, and there's at least 100 of them in like one tiny room. So the room is jam-packed. And so Naruto uses all of the truth-seeking orbs, and he kills all of them in like 5 seconds using the truth-seeking orbs. And so all the ANBU fall to the ground, and Naruto says, you thought ANBU could destroy me. Well, you were wrong. And he kicks Kushina in the face. And this is when Jiraiya, Minato, and Tsunade interfere. And they all pin Naruto to the ground. And Jiraiya smashes a Rasengan into Naruto's back. And this doesn't even affect Naruto in any sort of a way. And Naruto makes direct eye contact with Jiraiya when he does this. And instead of killing Jiraiya, he puts Jiraiya in a torture genjutsu, like Tsukuyomi. I can't even say that word. Tsukuyomi. Yeah, there we go. He puts him in a torture genjutsu. And Jiraiya is paralyzed, and he's sitting there. And this dojutsu is seeing everybody he's in love with, well, everybody he loves, be tortured and killed. And Naruto laughs and says, well, he's in a paralysis. And for you two, and he looks at Minato and Tsunade, he takes out his scythe. And he says, die. And he basically goes to cut both of them. But this is when Sia busts in the door and she said, Naruto, stop. And he says, wait, Sia? You shouldn't be off of the couch. Your wounds are gonna open back up. And everybody sees, the council sees her. And they laugh and they says, this is your little girlfriend? And the person on the council who says that, see the truth-seeking orb right at his head. And it goes into his head. And his body shrivels away. And Naruto collects his life force. And Naruto looks at Sia and says, why are you here? You shouldn't be off of the couch. Come on, we're leaving. And Minato and Jiraiya because Jiraiya broke himself out. And Minato and Jiraiya try to stop Naruto from leaving. Because he needs to face what he did to Kushina. Like, Kushina's on the ground in pain. And Naruto didn't even hit her that hard. He basically looks at Minato and says, I barely even used 1% of my power. Yet she's on the ground, crying. And Naruto walks out with Sia. And so Naruto and Sia go home. And they go to sleep. But Naruto wakes up in the middle of the night. And he pulls Sia close to him, extremely close to him. And he says, reverse summoning. And they both go to hell. And they see Satan. And Naruto says, Father, please, call in a healing demon. Sia needs to be healed immediately. And Sia wakes up and she says, Naruto, what are we doing here? And the healing demon shows up and they start healing Sia. And Naruto says, I would like for you to train me for 5 to 10 years. And Satan says, you know you're gonna miss 10 days of school, right? And Naruto says, I don't give a damn. If anybody even dares to lay a hand on Sia, I'll kill them. But I don't have enough power. I need more power. Because Naruto was bluffing when he said that he was using only 1%. Naruto was relying on this form's power. But he can't do this in his original form. So he needs way more power. So Naruto reverts back to this form. And he basically collapsed. Because he can't handle the immense pressure that form puts on him yet. He can only do that for like 10 to 15 minutes. And Satan says, wow, you really can't handle that form yet. And so 10 years in the underworld, we'll say, is 10 days on Earth. Yeah. So Naruto misses 10 days of school. And in this time, Sia is being trained by her mother. Because her mother is extremely angry for what those people did. And so Naruto and Sia get back to Earth on the 10th day. And before they leave, Satan and Sia's mother say, good luck. And Naruto and Sia leaves. And so When they get back to Earth, they look at each other and they kiss. Because Naruto hadn't seen her in the 10 years or 10 days, whichever one you want to pick. I really don't care. So, Naruto hadn't seen her in that long. And he says, it's been a long time. And Naruto has gotten, we'll say he's gotten 4 inches taller. And like 100 times stronger. And Sia has gotten 2 inches taller. And 100 times stronger. Shit. But, Naruto and Sia kiss. And they get ready for school. And so Naruto and Sia walk into the classroom. And Naruto is met with a kunai by Iruka, because he's late. And he looks at Sia and he says, well, Miss Sia, please go to your seat. And Naruto removes the kunai from Iruka's hand, and he politely hands it to him and says, you're weak. And he walks to his seat. And Menma and Mito are staring daggers at this man. Because, yeah, they hate him. But Menma, he likes Sia, but he doesn't like what she did to him. And so all the boys are looking at Sia, and Naruto says, would you all stop looking at my girlfriend? And this makes Sia sort of laugh, and she says, wow, Naruto, you're just going to be out and direct with it, are you? And Naruto says, hell yeah. It's not like they can do anything. And so all the boys look at Naruto, and they all signal to each other. Well, except for Shikamaru and Choji, because they really don't care, honestly. So they all signal to each other, and after school, all the boys basically look at Naruto and say, hey, Naruto, we're gonna fight you. And we're gonna kill you right here, right now. And Sia laughs, and she says under her breath, good luck. And Naruto only summons his truth-seeking orbs. He doesn't summon his sight and his demon clothing. So Naruto basically looks at them and he says, well then, come on. And they all rush at him, and he folds all of them. Like imagine Madara versus all of the shinobi forces. He basically does that to all of them. And when he gets down to Menma basically runs at Naruto with the chakra-enhanced punch. And Naruto puts up one finger, and it immediately stops Menma's punch. But not only does it stop his punch, it breaks his hand. And Naruto laughs and says, you're that weak? And Menma clenches his fist, his other fist, and he grinds his teeth. And he runs back at Naruto. And Naruto says, you're gonna try again, are you? And Naruto basically throws a flurry of attacks. And Naruto is basically blocking or dodging all of them. And Naruto says, well, I guess it's time to end this. And he punches Menma in the stomach, knees him in the face, and then grabs his head and slams his head into the ground, and then stomps on it, and says, well, you're weak. You're immensely weak. Don't ever try to disrespect me ever again, ever in your life, you maggot. And Sia laughs, and she goes to Naruto, and she wraps her arms around him and says, well, you didn't really have to go that far. And she kisses Naruto on the cheek. And all the girls see Mima and Sasuke on the ground. Because, Sasuke got his ass beat. I didn't even have to mention Sasuke. So they see Mima and Sasuke on the ground and they run to their aid. And all the other boys everybody is knocked out. And so Naruto and Sia go home. And we're going to fast forward a year to the graduation exams. And so Naruto and Sia wake up and they both say in unison, "Huh, it's finally that day, is it?" And they get dressed and they walk to school. All the villagers are throwing things at them, but Sia and Naruto are just dodging effortlessly. Like in the year that I skipped, they've been training hard as hell. But yeah. So they're dodging effortlessly. And they go to the academy. They basically get to the academy. And Iruka comes in after Naruto and Sia and says, "Everybody, please take your seats." And everybody is looking at Naruto and is saying, "Well, that dead last brat isn't gonna pass." Because they think Naruto beating all of them up was a fluke. They think he cheated some way. I don't even know anymore. They just think Naruto cheated. Or it was a fluke. Because, they don't think the dead last could beat them. And so, they call Naruto's name because we're going to say he goes first. And everybody is watching Naruto. And Naruto says, "Multi-shadow clone jutsu." And 1,000 clones pop up in the testing area. And they all stare daggers at all of the other kids. And this is when Naruto says, "Disperse." And Iruka says, "Wow, Naruto, good job." But he says this through his teeth, like he has an attitude or something. And Naruto says, "What, nigga, you gonna press me or something? I'll beat your ass. Keep playing with me." And he grabs the headband. He walks off. And this leaves the whole class baffled because they didn't think Naruto would say something like that. And so all the students go up and most of them fell. And this is when Sia goes up and she says, "Multi-shadow clone jutsu." And she summons 800 clones and gets her headband. And I'm just going to say everybody that needed to pass. And so, yeah. End of the day comes around and Iruka says, "Tomorrow you will be getting your Jonin instructors. Don't be late." And he looks at Naruto. And Naruto and Sia basically get up and leave. And Iruka says, "I didn't dismiss you." And this is when Naruto looks back at him and says, "Fuck, nigga, I dismissed myself." He leaves. And Naruto has learned all of this from Satan. Because, that nigga Satan evil. And he basically taught Naruto all of this language. And so everybody looks at Naruto while he walks out. And Naruto and Sia are smiling. And so they go home and go to sleep. So the next day rolls around and they go into the class. And everybody's there. And Iruka comes in. He says, "Well, I'm going to be announcing the teams today." And so Iruka says, he basically says all of the teams as usual. But when he gets to Team 7, he says, wait, what? A 6-man team. And they all look at Iruka and say, wait, what? Who's on the team? And Iruka says, Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, Mima and Mito Uzumaki, and Naruto Uzumaki and Sia? And everybody looks at Naruto and they're glaring at him because, they don't want him to be on that team. And your Jonin instructors are Kushina Uzumaki and Kakashi. I fucking forgot Kakashi last name. Oh, Kakashi Hatake. And so all of the team Jonin leaders come in, and because Kushina is an instructor, she makes sure Kakashi is on time. And so Kushina and Kakashi come in, and Kushina's glaring at Naruto. And Naruto flicks her off because, Satan. But, yeah. Naruto flicks her off. And Kushina says, damn brat. And then she says, go to the roof. And so Naruto and Sia body flicker up there before anybody else. And the time it takes them to body flicker, Naruto and Sia are having a conversation. And Naruto says, Sia, we're gonna get married tomorrow. And Sia says, wait, what? Tomorrow? That's so soon. And Naruto says, is that a problem? And Sia says, well, I mean, no. And so Naruto says, well, great. So we'll do it in hell with my father and your parents. And so Sia agrees, and so yeah. So everybody, all of the people that are supposed to be up there get up there. And they basically go through all of their dreams, goals in life, and all that good stuff. And I'm just going to skip over that because, I don't really care. But then Kakashi says, meet at training field 7 tomorrow. We'll have the bell test. And Naruto laughs and looks at Sia and says, let's go. And so they leave and they go home. And Mima says, he says to Kushina, I think I like Sia. But Naruto's dating her. And Kushina says, well, just kiss her. Walk up to her and kiss her. And I bet she'll go out with you. And so fast forward the next day, Naruto and Sia show up for the bell test, knowing right afterwards they'll be getting married. And so when they see Mima, Mito, Sakura, and Sasuke, everyone's glaring at Naruto, but this is when Mima looks at Mito, and Mima looks at Sia and walks up to her, and he kisses her. And Naruto's eyes, they flicker, and Naruto doesn't go into this form. His eyes turn into this. His eyes look like this. And Satan says, wait, what is this presence? What am I feeling? Is it him? Is it Naruto? And Satan's panicking because he knows that this power is forbidden. And somehow Naruto unlocked this eye. And so Naruto looks at Mima. And Mima says, well, Sia, will you go out with me instead of that idiot Naruto? And Naruto walks over to Mima. But before he can get there, Kushina basically wraps her chakra chains around Naruto. And Naruto says, what the hell is this? And Sia says, wait, what? Go out with you? No, why would I do that? And because I don't give a fuck, Naruto breaks out of the chakra chains and grabs Sia and says, stand right here, please. And he looks Mima dead in the eyes and says, I am going to kill you. And he rushes at Mima. And he's beating the hell out of Mima. Like, he's beating the absolute shit out of Mima. And Mima is like, Mom, help. And Naruto slams Kushina's head into the ground and takes his scythe and sticks it through her leg. And he leaves her there in agony. And so Naruto continues beating the shit out of Mima until Minato gets there. And Minato says, shit. He says, Naruto, stop. And Naruto stops, but Mima's body is bruised, bloodied, and battered. And Naruto says, he shouldn't have kissed her. He shouldn't have even touched her. And Naruto stomps on Mima's head. And he spits on him. And Sasuke and Sakura are in shock. Because they just seen their best friend, or one of their best friends, get beat up. And Mito is crying because she thinks her brother's gonna die. And so Minato pushes Naruto off of Mima and rushes Mima to the hospital. And so Mima gets his treatment, and he has to be in bed for like at least a week or two. Because Naruto beat the hell out of that little boy. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But they do the bell test anyway because Kakashi shows up. And they pass. Because I really honestly don't give a fuck. But I'm gonna end it here. Because somebody is being really annoying and I'm going to have to fold them. But we won't talk about that. So, bye.